This hour by Frederick Remington, fully cooked, ready-to-eat bacon. Exclusive, no refrigeration, 10-year extended shelf life bacon. The thickest, meatiest, center-cut bacon in the industry at fullycookedbacon.com.
The stocks discussed on Wall Street Raw are not in any way a recommendation or solicitation to buy, sell, or hold. If considering on acting on information, we first recommend you seek out a competent, licensed professional for advice.
What kingdom has sent you?
The kingdom of the Most High.
Nothing you have ever experienced can prepare you for the unbridled carnage you're about to witness. The Super Bowl, the World Series, they don't know what pressure is. In this building, it's either kill or be killed. You make no friends in the pits and you take no prisoners. 1 minute you're up $500,000 in soybeans, and the next, boom, your kids don't go to college and they've repossessed your Bentley. Are you with me?
The Genesis Communication Network is proud to bring you Wall Street Raw with nationally recognized market timer and previous Wall Street Week elf, Mark Leibovit, welcoming you on board his financial time machine. And here is the elf himself, Mark Leibovit.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning. It's Mark Leibovit, and thank you for joining us again here at Wall Street Raw on the Saturday morning, March 24th. No doubt it's been a very interesting week here with the markets. The Dow selling off 700 points on Thursday, back and forth on Friday, and a little action to the upside in gold. But as I've been writing to my newsletter subscribers and listeners, we've been talking about a 1,000-point range here in the Dow in the last few weeks, 24.4 on the upper end, on the lower end, 25.5 on the upper end, and then we were talking about really have to watch which side of that range it comes out, and it looks like the lower end did come out on Thursday. So the bears seem to be in charge here, at least short terms. Saying that, however, there's a lot of interesting things going on out there. You got company buybacks going on, company repurchasing in shares. It's been, a big support for the market in recent years, so we'll see if that continues. A lot of cyclical events taking place. We had the autumnal equinox this past week. For those who are into financial astrology, Mercury went retrograde this week. Of course, coming up, we have a lot of very interesting events in April. Historically, there's negative patterns that unfold this time of year. We talked about that in our previous broadcast. We have more time later. We'll get into all those cyclical discussions, but there has been some negative events in April. We saw the flash crash back in May 2010, so we're certainly not out of the woods in terms of potential volatility here. And the real question is, is a bear market beginning? Was this the warning signs technically this past week, or are we just going to retest the lows from February down to that 23,300 level, or are we going to come out of this? Of course, a lot of it is news related. Talk about the tariffs. Basically, it was mostly reflecting concerns of potential trade war coming up. But it's really interesting that Trump announced tariffs on at least $50 billion worth of Chinese imports, which, when you think about, is an absurdity when you compare that small amount as compared to the overall trade deficit. So basically, our sources really say that potential bond crash may be a real reason for the sell-off, not so much the tariff thing. We have huge debt, both internationally, the EU, and here in the U.S. A lot of other things could be cooking here on the horizon. Of course, these are just opinions. We follow the tape and let the market tell us really what it wants to do. So that's the bottom line there. Meanwhile, as I always try to do, I try to bring in a lot of interesting guests on the program each week. But first, I want to thank a new station for joining the Wall Street Raw radio network this week at KBNP AM 1410. This KBNP 1410 in Portland, Oregon, is going to be joining us every morning. It's a Saturday at 10 a.m. Eastern, so I want to thank them for picking up the show and expanding our network here on the West Coast. So tune in, KBNP AM 1410 Saturdays at 10 a.m. Henry Weingarten is on the show with us. He'll be with us in just a moment. Don Violo will be joining us. We have a special interview with Wayne Root out of Las Vegas. Wayne Allen Root, a good friend, has some interesting commentary about what's happening in California and their interest in potentially seceding from the United States and its financial impact and political impact. And Harry Boxer will hopefully join us later along with Sinclair No. I'd like to bring on board our good friend Henry Weingarten, who's been patiently waiting to join us this morning. Henry Weingarten runs the Astrologers Fund, and he does both technical, fundamental, and astrological work. Great market timer, has been doing it for 50 years. Good friend. Good morning, Henry. Thank you again for joining us.
Good morning. So I think I'll have to use some opinions since the tape isn't running today on Saturday. First of all, we saw gold comfortably hold the 1300 to 1310 level. And so we're going to see if we'll break out. I mean, we're in the camp that this year or next year it's going to 1400. We don't think it's going to move up 1,000 points, but we do think it's in a good spot. Although there is, on Monday, there is options expiration, so it could be some retracement there. But overall, we like that quite a bit. Bonds are sort of sticking around. I don't think, our view is we're only getting 3 raises this year. That number 7 is the critical one. And we're holding 280 in the 10-year. When we get to 3 and 320, which is the classic, then I think there'll be some damage. Until then, we don't see there's much damage. This is sort of an early selling of what we were expecting in April, which was March, April. Some corrections, a little bit more in April than I think we're going to get now. And it's very possible we'll be stable by next week or by Tuesday. So we're not really rushing. But as you know, from months ago, we suggested above 25,000 and certainly 26,000 fully protecting accounts. So this is just sort of playtime for us. Basically.
So what's the risk, Henry, that we're entering a bear market? Is that a minimal risk at this point, or we don't know?
To me, it's a very minimal risk. I don't see it till 2019.
Okay.
Now, we can go 10, 12% if they do. It's no big deal. Again, but I don't know if we're going to do it now. I think it's more likely in April than March. If I had to have a coin, that the correction would be in April and May. But I don't know if we'll be selling in May as usual. We might, if they hold these levels a couple of times with some tests, we might be buying. Although I don't see a great amount of upside, but I think we'll more likely go up and down. So, as you said, we have to see how it goes. But I don't think the reasons for selling are that germane.
So far, most of it is supposedly news-related. Suddenly overnight, something changes on the tariff front, or the bill, which is.
These are negotiations, as you well know. Trump is negotiating. He's making lots of exceptions, and the exceptions are basically telling people you've got a couple of months to get things in line. And so, I don't think we're in a terrible situation. If we do, it certainly wouldn't be till the end of till the fall or winter that we'd be in a real trade war with China. So to me, this certainly is very, very unlikely in the next 6 months.
Right. There's no guarantee a trade war is going to begin. They got back and said, provide some details. I mean, there are issues here, and the Chinese have taken advantage of us for many years, as the Europeans and many other countries. So this whole tariff issue, is being raised as a major negative only on the U.S. end, when in the truth we've been taken advantage of. So I think we're doing the right thing. Absolutely. But
no question, we agree.
And the markets are using it as an excuse to sell off, but I think in time the markets will come to realize that it would have been positive when and if it happens.
Correct. We agree 100%.
Okay, so basically we're bullish on.
But again, the next rally you might want to sell into it if you haven't before, be protecting. But when we got to above 25,000, the Dow at 26,000. The real area though, I think which we recommend shorting was the Nasdaq around 7,500. We could easily see 6,600 there. So we haven't broken 7,000. So the Nasdaq could certainly drop a lot more than the other way. So,
All right, Henry. I want
on the short side.
Well, I want to thank you, for joining us. It's always a pleasure having Henry Weingarten on the show with us. And it looks like with gold moving now, we're getting at least one of those markets doing as was forecast. So let's keep our fingers crossed there. Henry Weingarten from the Astrologers Fund. If you want more information, go to afund.com. And Henry is always kind enough to join us every week. Thanks for joining us, Henry. Don't touch your dial. We'll be right back after the break.
You're listening to Wall Street Raw with Mark Leibovit. Go to wallstreetrawradio.com for information on Mark's newsletters and products. Stay tuned. Mark will be right back.
Hunters, anglers, campers, and survivalists. Get back to nature. Expand your horizons with the highest quality, most versatile, unique slingshots and sling bows on the market at slingbow.com. Sling bow products are compact and models start from just $17.98. They're perfect for your bug out bag or storing in your vehicle. Give yourself and your loved ones the excitement and tradition of sling bow. A new frontier in archery and truly modern twist on this primitive survival tool. Feel the thrill only at slingbow.com.
I tried other brands, but I came back to My Sunshine.
For the best hot or cold pain relief, get the best. Get a Sunny Bay heating pad.
Sometimes life can be a pain in the neck or back or shoulder.
And the best relief for that pain is a Sunny Bay heating pad. Did you know that the American College of Physicians said that one of the best ways to treat muscle pain is heat therapy? Sunny Bay heating pads are handmade with high quality, can be used at home or at work, and have a lifetime 100% positive rating on both Amazon and Etsy.
Why take another pill?
Many people use our Sunny Bay heating pads alone and got rid of the neck pain.
Long distance travel or long hours in front of a computer can take its toll on your body.
See why our homegrown small business at sunny-bay.com has tried to help people just like you. Get your Sunny Bay heating pads at sunny-bay.com. That's sunny-bay.com or call 253-678-1361 for hot and cold therapy. sunny-bay.com.
Every industry faces distinguishing challenges and circumstances that shape the business and financial landscape. Camuso CPA LLC delivers unrivaled depth of knowledge and an engaging experience relevant to each client's industry-specific needs. Camuso offers preemptive guidance and knowledge required to achieve your greatest business and personal financial potential. Our approach is based on forging long-term business relationships accompanied by trust and value, creating an ever-important partnership. Build your dedicated financial team with us today. Visit CamusoCPA.com. That's CamusoCPA.com.
It's a no-brainer. A Big Berkey water filter is the one you need, period. You need a water filter that removes chlorine, fluoride, pharmaceuticals, BPA, and other endocrine disruptors, pesticides, bacteria, viruses, and much more, right? And does it all at only 2 cents per gallon. Get the original and most trusted name in gravity water filtration, Big Berkey. And now GCN listeners receive 5% off ceramic filter systems using code GCN. Call or click 1-877-99-BERKEY or BigBerkeyWaterFilters.com. That's 1-877-99-BERKEY.
Have you checked your Google search results lately? Search results are usually the first impression that people form of you or your business, so make sure that they create a positive impression with ReputationDefender.com. What the Internet says about you can have a big impact on your life and your livelihood, even if it's not true. Fortunately, you can now control how you look online and in online search results with ReputationDefender.com. Call 800-831-0771 now. That's 800-831-0771 for your free reputation analysis. If you have negative material from an ex-employee, upset patient, or former client, newspaper article, legal issue, social media, or other source showing up in your search results, you can combat it with ReputationDefender.com. Our dedicated experts in patented technology can help make your online search results look their best. Call 800-831-0771 to learn more. 800-831-0771. That's 800-831-0771. Or visit ReputationDefender.com.
This is Dan Pilla. Do you owe the IRS money you can't pay? Are tax debts crippling you? I've defended people from the IRS for over 30 years. I've helped thousands, and I can help you too. I wrote the book on IRS settlement, and I'm telling you, there's no such thing as a hopeless case. Call 800-34-NO-TAX to finally get free of IRS debt. With the IRS's new programs, there's never been a better time to solve your problem. Call 800-34-NO-TAX. That's 800-34-NO-TAX, or my website, danpilla.com.
Think positive. Never show any sign of weakness. Always go for the throat. Buy low, sell high. Fear, that's the other guy's problem.
Welcome back to the Wall Street Raw Radio Show with Mark Leibovit, your time machine for the financial markets. Want to know more? Go to WallStreetRawRadio.com. Now, here's the elf himself, Mark Leibovit.
Welcome back to Wall Street Raw on this Saturday, March 24th, a week that we didn't see much volatility. Of course, that's just a joke. It's been one of the most volatile weeks with the Dow dropping 700 points on Thursday and, trading back and forth on Friday. And the real question is whether something more significant has happened here or not. But we did see some nice move to the upside in the natural resources, particularly oil and gold. And to that extent, I want to bring on our good friend Don Violo, who's always kind enough to join us on the program. Don Violo is the creator of the great blogs, equityclock.com and timingthemarkets.ca, and based in Toronto, and always pleasure having him on the show. Don, thank you again for joining us.
Thanks for having me back, Mark.
Wow. So let's talk about the volatility here in the market this week.
Yeah, huge spikes, not only in the U.S. markets, but also the Canadian market. Lots of volatility coming in, all related to the possibility of trade wars between the United States and everybody else in the world. However, the possibility that we did see signs on Friday that the markets are trying to stabilize a little bit, but if it doesn't stabilize there, the lows in around the middle of February for both the Toronto and U.S. markets will be tested. So stay tuned.
And if that comes out, do you think that would signal a bear market or just more of that 10% correction type thinking? It's really too early to tell, but I'm just throwing it out there. What do you think?
Well, the good news is that this time of year, actually normally from around the beginning of March right through until about the first week in May, seasonality is positive for both the Canadian and U.S. equity markets. And so the odds are that the lows that we saw in the middle of February will hold, and we'll start to see some stability in equity markets during the next couple of weeks.
So I noticed in some of your commentary that you wrote about the Nikkei average falling 4.5%. Tell me what the significance of that is.
Well, the key there is the Japanese market is very, very sensitive to the possibility of trade wars. Their economy depends upon significant trade with other countries, most notably the U.S. and Canada. And if we get trade wars between the U.S. and China, then that's a problem. So that means that the Nikkei was hit the most, 4.5% on Thursday. That's quite a whack.
There's no guarantee the trade war will unfold. Last I read, the Chinese are sort of evaluating what the U.S. did, and they want to talk or at least see something in writing about what the details are. So, I think the reality is that they know they're doing something wrong over there. I mean, there has been a disadvantageous relationship between at least the U.S. and China that's been documented, so.
Very much so. China has all kinds of trade restrictions on a wide variety of U.S. products. The obvious one is in the auto industry, where there's automatically a 25% tariff on any American cars going into China. So the Chinese have been playing kind of fast and loose with these trade policies for a long time. And finally, Trump is calling them on it, and probably a good thing, except it does create some short-term volatility.
Let's talk about commodity prices in about a minute or so we have left. Nice week there.
It was fascinating because we saw the Fed increase the Fed fund rate by 0.25%. Logic suggests that when that happens, the U.S. dollar index will move higher as well. But that didn't happen. See, what's happening is that the Senate on Friday morning passed a $1.3 trillion spending bill. The American government is spending money like crazy, and that's having an impact on the U.S. dollar. U.S. dollar weakness has caused strength in commodity prices.
Yeah, nothing new that they're spending like drunken sailors, right? Nothing new there.
For sure.
Well, Don Violo from equityclock.com and timingthemarket.ca. Always glad to have you on the show, and let's keep those natural resources moving up. It's good for Canada, and it's good for our trading positions. Have a great weekend. Thank you.
Thank you, Mark.
Don Violo from equityclock.com. We have Harry Boxer on the line, my good friend from thetechtrader.com. Good morning, Harry. Thank you for joining us on this Saturday morning.
How's it going?
Oh, good. Well, it's doing pretty good. That 700-point sell-off on Thursday was sort of eye-catching. It woke you up if you weren't paying attention. So what do you think is going on? I know you follow some individual stocks, but we did break down a bit, no question about it.
We're kind of, let's put it this way. We've had a solid decline. We're due for a rally. I don't know if we get one, but the intraday patterns right now indicate the possibility of a turnaround and a rally back that we'll see if they hold them or not. We're still in downtrends. We're still in very orderly down channels. If you look at the NASDAQ and the S&P, 5 waves down, 3 waves up, another wave down, another wave up, and now the 5th wave down. So we may have ended this thing today, or we're only in the second of the fifth. In other words, the way I look at it, here, bottom right here, we come down to 3 more waves and finish it off at that point. But we're going to get a snapback rally because we're overdue. Problem is, it's Friday before weekend, and market's been down all week. Lots of uncertainty. Forget that. I'm looking at individual drop patterns. By the way, Dropbox opened today and immediately popped from, it's supposed to come at 22. It came at 29. It opened at 29 and ran up to like 31 and change. And right now, DBX is, and this is a great little company. Not little. They do $1 billion. Dropbox is now rolled over from 31.5 down to 29.5. So it could snap back again, but the IPO debut isn't what everybody thought it might be. Of course, it comes in a lousy market. But I think we're going to get a late snapback rally here. The Dow just went positive as we're speaking. We'll see what happens.
Right, we're taping this interview Friday midday, so we're live Saturday morning, for the show, but the interview, so we don't know where the market's closing when we're doing this particular interview. So a lot of action the last day or so in gold and silver, Harry, starting to move here.
I really like the look of the gold stocks today in particular. There's a lot of follow-through. The JNUG is now up almost 10% today, and that's the JNUG. This is triple, index gold junior gold miner, and the Nugget NUGT. Both of those nuggets are the higher price stocks. They're up about over 10% too. So, and individually, we've seen some oil stocks move up. One of my favorites, CRC, that's California Resources, which has exploded for $1.60 or 10% as well today. So we have some good things happening in terms of day trades and swing trades. Marijuana stocks are moving. The TWMJF Canopy Growth is up $1.85 right now, about 7.5%, 8%. That looks good. And so, and some of the junior biotechs, they got slapped back. I think they're great buys down. DKTX, HTGM, PIRS, the ADVN. There's a few junior biotechs in that $5-6 range. I think could be big percent movers in the next couple months, provided, of course, we don't get a full-fledged bear market.
Harry Boxer from thetechtrader.com. If you want more information, go to thetechtrader.com. Thank you for joining us, Harry.
Bye-bye.
Go to wallstreetrawradio.com for more information on Mark's newsletters and products. Stay tuned. Mark will be right back.
High-performance investors and traders use superior financial tools to achieve superior returns. You have that tool with Mark Leibovit, nationally renowned top market timer, legendary television Wall Street Week elf, and nightly business report market monitor, who shares with you his unique market tools and commentary at wallstreetraw.com. At wallstreetraw.com, Mark provides you with his latest ideas on how to help build and protect your wealth and help you avoid the next big market crash. Mark has a special free gift for listeners of his Wall Street Raw radio show. Go to wallstreetraw.com and sign up for his free monthly Cannabis Vice News Raw report. While there, go ahead and sign up for his free monthly Gold News Raw report. Both are totally free. No credit card information is required. Sign up today for your free Cannabis Vice News Raw and Gold News Raw reports at wallstreetraw.com. That's wallstreetraw.com.
Warning, if you're drowning in debt you can't afford, do not let the credit card companies trick you into thinking that you have to pay it all back, because you don't. What the credit card companies don't want you to know is that there's actually a way to get debt-free without paying off your entire debt or going bankrupt. If you have $5,000 or more in credit card debt, you now have the right to let us settle that debt for a fraction of what you owe. For free information, call Credit Associates now. 1-800-959-5759. We'll even show you how much money you could save. If you can't afford to pay off all your debt, do not let the credit card companies trick you into thinking that you have to. Call Credit Associates now for free information on how to get debt-free faster than you ever thought possible without debt consolidation or bankruptcy. We depend on your success and offer a guarantee, so there's no risk. For free information, call now. 1-800-959-5759. That's 1-800-959-5759. 1-800-959-5759.
What would your life be like if you woke up each morning with new vitality, feeling better than you have in years, and you noticed a difference in your sleeping patterns, blood sugar levels, and had a sense of well-being overall? There's something that is changing thousands of people's lives, and you could be one of them. It's called Heart and Body Extract. Sharon Harris, co-creator of Heart and Body Extract, talks about the positive effects of Heart and Body Extract.
What happens with the formula Heart and Body Extract is it's giving the body the necessary vitamins, minerals, amino acids, enzymes, and phytonutrients so the body will heal itself. And yes, the body does have the ability to balance blood pressure, balance cholesterol, clean and unclog the arteries. It can also work on balancing the circulation for diabetics. So the body is an amazing thing. It simply needs some help so it has the tools to heal itself.
Heart and Body Extract gets results. To order your 2-month supply, call now, toll free at 866-295-5305. Order online at hbextract.com.
Hello, my name is Marjorie Wildcraft. I'm the founder of the Grow Network, which is an online community of people who produce their own food and medicine. We are really into backyard self-reliance. If you want this lifestyle, I suggest your first step be to learn some basic home medicine. Just the other day, my 18-year-old son came to me and said, "Mama, I got a sore throat. Can you fix me up?" And I said, "Sure, Ryan," and in about 24 hours, he was better. The best home medicine for you to start out with is garlic. It's an amazing natural antibiotic, and I can show you how to use garlic to handle ear infections, sore throats, colds, and flus. As a way for you to get to know a little bit more about me and the Grow Network, I've written up an easy introduction on how to use garlic. It's at gcnwellness.com. Now, the station manager told me that I needed to say the URL at least twice, even though it feels kind of weird. But if you're interested in backyard self-reliance, you are one of us. Go to www.gcnwellness.com and let's connect up.
Welcome back to Wall Street Raw. Want to know more about Wall Street Raw and the Leibovit VR newsletters? Go to wallstreetrawradio.com.
Welcome back to Wall Street Raw on this Saturday, March 24th. I'm your host, Mark Leibovit, and I want to thank you again for tuning in on this Saturday morning. Obviously, you have other choices on a Saturday, and we certainly appreciate you taking the time to do so. Also, once again, I want to thank, as I did earlier, KBNP, AM 1410 in Portland for joining the roster of stations following the Wall Street Raw radio program. So thanks again for joining us, KBNP, and our good friend up there, Keith Lyons, who made the arrangements, the program director and general manager. Meanwhile, the political change we face, is really the collapse of socialism. And I know that sounds sort of crazy. Some people immediately disagree and they say it's capitalism. But sorry, pensions are part of socialism, not capitalism. And this does not mean the socialists are going to go down without a fight. But looking back at history, the French Revolution is where communism was born. They hunted the wealth of the rich, beheaded them, and they even seized all the property of the Catholic Church. Socialists always claim they are doing this to right all wrongs created by the rich, but in truth, they live in hate of anyone who possesses more than they do. We see this going on all over the world. We see it here in the U.S., particularly on the left, the liberal left. I find it curious that this is listed in the Ten Commandments as something not to do, and in the opening, the segment you did hear the quotes from the excerpts from the Ten Commandments, my favorite movie. We keep that on the show every week because of this reason, to try to shore up the conservative values. But the Ten Commandments has something to do with all this, yet it is the cornerstone of the left. So even if someone does not believe in God and looks at the Ten Commandments simply as an ancient list of wisdom, this trait is still listed. Anyway, we slice it, religion aside, coveting thy neighbor's goods is the creed of the thief. And that's really what this is all about, big term. So it says, you shall not covet your neighbor's house, you shall not covet your neighbor's wife or his manservant, and so forth and so on, if you read Exodus 20:17. So there's a combination here between financial and religious, believe it or not, folks, over the years. Good friend of mine, Wayne Allen Root, had a great comment this past week regarding what's going on, speaking of socialism and what's going on in California, regarding their interest in leaving the United States, seceding from the United States. So I want to bring Alan on. We pre-taped this comment earlier, and I want you to hear Wayne Allen Root's comments on what's going on in California. Very timely. Let's go ahead with Wayne.
Hi, I'm Wayne Allen Root for RootForAmerica.com, and I'm an ex-Californian. I escaped California almost 20 years ago. I ran for my life from high taxes, insane regulation, and nutty liberals. It's only gotten much worse. California is a part of America, but it's no longer American. It is a foreign state. It's a fugitive state. The U.S. Constitution and the rule of law no longer apply in California. Call it the People's Socialist Republic of California, or Northern Mexico. It's a state without a country, but it's certainly no longer American in any way. Liberals in California want us to secede. They're trying to put it on the ballot. They call it Cal Exit. I say, glory, hallelujah. Let's help make it happen. I propose 63 million Trump voters join the team. Let's work 24 hours, 7 days a week to turn their dream into a reality. Millions of illegal aliens live in California, drive in California with official state-issued driver's licenses, and of course use those licenses to vote in California. Millions. That's precisely how Hillary won California by over 4 million votes. California supports illegal aliens over legal, law-abiding American citizens. They support illegals getting free college education while children of native-born Americans pay full fare. They support illegals over police and ICE. Many liberals in California want to abolish ICE. They want no borders and no immigration law. The Attorney General of California has warned any business owner who cooperates with ICE will face prosecution by the state of California. You heard correctly. California will put the business owner in prison for cooperating with federal law to protect the criminal breaking the law. The mayor of Oakland famously played Paul Revere to warn illegal felons, ICE is coming, ICE is coming. The feds report over 800 felons evaded arrest because of that stunt. How many legal law-abiding native-born Americans will be robbed, raped, or murdered in the coming weeks because of that act of sedition? A California judge just sided with the ACLU and barred LA County from enforcing gang restrictions that dramatically lowered crime. California is once again siding with hoodlums and gangbangers over the law-abiding taxpayers. In Oakland, a coffee shop prohibits employees from serving police in uniform in order to create a safe space for their customers. Californians hate and distrust police more than illegal felons and thugs who speak no English and wear gang tattoos. Really. All of this is sheer madness, but California's taken it to a whole new level. Just this week, the California Senate appointed the first ever illegal alien to an official statewide post. Lizbeth Mateo, a 33-year-old illegal alien turned attorney, will serve on the official state committee that doles out money to illegals attending college. In California, illegals now decide how taxpayer money is spent. Now, President Trump loves to brand. Remember Crooked Hillary? Let's brand California. It's not a sanctuary state. It's a fugitive state. It's a place that chooses to let felons and fugitives run free. It's a place where the rights of criminals are far more important than protecting legal, law-abiding American citizens who pay the taxes. We are the second-class citizens in California. Here's the way to fix the problem. Liberal Californians want to secede. I'm joining the movement. How about you? California should secede. California must secede. Conservatives should beg California to secede. We should make it easy for them. We should help pay for it. Pass the hat. Every conservative should chip in at least $20. I'll throw in $1,000 to get the ball rolling. Just think of elections. Without California, Trump and all future Republican presidential candidates would win without breaking a sweat. Without California, we easily win the popular vote, and we win the electoral vote by a landslide. Next, think of Congress. California has 53 House seats. Democrats lead 39-14 for a net gain of 25. Senate California packing and the GOP gained a 25 House seat lead. We would dominate the House for decades to come. And of course, the GOP would gain an automatic 2 seats in the Senate through the subtraction of California. As it stands now, those 2 U.S. Senate seats are deep blue forever. But if California secedes, a 51-49 GOP lead instantly moves to 51-47. If 63 million Trump voters just gave an average of $20 each to the Cal Exit movement, that's over $1.2 billion. That's enough money to help California secede, with enough left over as a down payment on building a wall with California. I'm Wayne Alaroot for Root for America. God bless America.
Thank you, Alan. This wonderful presentation there regarding what's going on in California. And I'm out in California all the time, back and forth, based here in Arizona, and I tell you, I think it's a foreign country when I go out there, but that's a whole other story. Meanwhile, we only have about 60 seconds here until the break. We're going to have Sinclair No joining us here after the break, and as far as the markets are concerned, the longer-term view, well, what can I say here? This past February, it was the first down February for the Dow since 2009, believe it or not, and the worst February for the S&P in 9 years, and it was the first down month since October 2016, and the biggest monthly drop since 2016, January 2016. So the biggest support for the stock market is, as I mentioned earlier, stock buybacks for companies. So we're going to see if they're able to shore up this market, but we may still see some further indigestion, and so much, of course, of it is news-related. Don't touch your dial. We're going to have Sinclair No joining us after the break here on Wall Street Raw Radio.
Listening to Wall Street Raw with Mark Leibovit. Go to wallstreetrawradio.com for information on Mark's newsletters and products. Stay tuned. Mark will be right back.
High-performance investors and traders use superior financial tools to achieve superior returns. You have that tool with Mark Leibovit, nationally renowned top market timer, legendary television Wall Street Week elf, and nightly business report market monitor, who shares with you his unique market tools and commentary at wallstreetraw.com. Here, Mark provides you with his latest ideas on how to help build and protect your wealth and help you avoid the next big market tsunami. Mark has a special free gift for listeners of his Wall Street Raw radio show. Go to wallstreetraw.com and sign up for his free monthly Cannabis Vice News Raw report. While there, go ahead and sign up for his free monthly Gold News Raw report. Both are totally free. No credit card information is required, and no one will call. Sign up today for your free Cannabis Vice News Raw report and Gold News Raw report at wallstreetraw.com.
Every industry faces distinguishing challenges and circumstances that shape the business and financial landscape. Camuso CPA LLC delivers unrivaled depth of knowledge and an engaging experience relevant to each client's industry-specific needs. Camuso offers preemptive guidance and knowledge required to achieve your greatest business and personal financial potential. Our approach is based on forging long-term business relationships accompanied by trust and value, creating an ever-important partnership. Build your dedicated financial team with us today. Visit CamusoCPA.com. That's CamusoCPA.com.
Face it, today's electric power grid is more vulnerable than ever. From natural disasters to EMP attacks and hacking, the grid could be crippled for days or even decades in the most dire scenarios. Visit quantumharvest.net to see our built-to-last EMP-protected solar power systems. While millions suffer, you'll have vital power for water pumps, refrigeration, and sanitation. Now that's peace of mind. EMP-protected solar power systems for every need and budget. See our full range at quantumharvest.net.
Fully cooked, ready-to-eat bacon. I'm talking thick, meaty, center-cut presidential bacon. Savory and delicious. I buy some, I use some, I store some. Awesome. No refrigeration needed with a 10-year shelf life. NASA-packed technology. Bacon. Fully cooked, fully hydrated, ready to eat right from the packed bacon. Or warm and served. Life-saving, ready-to-eat bacon. 10-year shelf life bacon. Ships free at fullycookedbacon.com. Fullycookedbacon.com.
Hello, I'm Mike Lindell, the inventor of MyPillow, and like all of you out there, I had problems sleeping. Pillows would go flat, I would flip-flop all night long, I would wake up with a sore neck, maybe a headache, or feel like I needed a nap even though I slept 8 hours. When I invented MyPillow, I wanted it to where you could move the patented fill to give you the exact support you need as an individual, regardless of sleep position. MyPillow will get you into that deep REM sleep faster, and you will stay there longer. It's not about how much time we spend in bed, it's about how much of that quality sleep we get. I do all of my own manufacturing right here in the United States. I have a 10-year warranty. You can wash and dry my pillow, and I give you a 60-day money-back guarantee, so you have nothing to lose. And here's my best offer ever. You can buy one of my pillows and get one absolutely free.
Go to mypillow.com or call 800-870-0305 and use promo code GCN. That's mypillow.com or 800-870-0305 with promo code GCN.
Hear that? That's the sound of a house being trashed while a gang of thieves ransack the place. And what they don't steal will be destroyed.
This year, resolve not to be the next victim of a break-in. Go to faketv.com and discover a device that creates the illusion someone inside is watching TV, even when you're miles away. Security is a mindset, and Fake TV should be part of your security solution. Be vigilant, but not fearful. faketv.com.
Responsibility begins and ends with our partners and our shareholders, and that's it.
There is no freedom without the law.
Get it? Got it? Good.
Welcome back to Wall Street Raw and the final segment with Mark Leibovit. Now, here's the elf himself.
Welcome back to Wall Street Raw on this Saturday, March 24th. And we always save the best for last. We have our good friend Sinclair No from KFNN 1510 and author of the incomparable blog EatTheBankers.com joining us on this Saturday morning. Good morning, Sinclair. Thank you again for being with us.
Thank you. Good to be with you, Mark.
Well, we had no volatility this week, Sinclair, so I think we should just go take a nap or take a little vacation, right? 700 points to the downside on Thursday, and as I just mentioned, I don't know if you heard off the air for the longer-term view, with the down February we had for the Dow was the worst since 2009, I think, and the worst February in the S&P in 9 years. So, the bull market seems to be called into question a little bit, but so much is seemingly related to what's going on in Washington. We've got the tax tariff bill and the funding for the government. All these things are up in the air, and let's get your view.
Yeah, we could be on our way to the worst March that we've seen in the markets for the Dow and the S&P since going back to, I believe it's 2001. Okay. So that's for March. February wasn't a good month either. And we saw this past week the Dow drop back down into correction territory, 10% off of the late January record highs. So, yeah, something's going on here. We have to see whether this continues and the downturn continues. You can't get into bear market territory without passing through a correction first. And we've got some lows from early February 8th and 9th, that may serve as some level of support in this market. We'll just have to wait and see how that goes. But it's certainly enough to wake you up, I think.
Oh, no question about it.
The latest mishap seems to be over tariffs. And these would be rather sweeping tariffs on China, which is, as it's turning out, the tariffs that were announced on steel and aluminum a couple of weeks ago, we're seeing exemptions cut out for Brazil, Canada, Mexico, the European Union, Australia, Korea. That basically leaves China. And now we have a new announcement of tariffs above and beyond steel and aluminum, dealing with what could well be hundreds of different products, perhaps 100. We'll see in time. Full list will be out in about 15 days, apparently. And then there'll be a little comment period and so forth that goes on. So it probably won't be until May. But these are directed at China, and these are particularly directed at China for more high-tech goods, biopharmaceutical, robotics, rail equipment, and so forth.
The $50 billion worth of Chinese imports, that's an absurdity when you think about such a small amount compared to the overall trade deficit with China, is it not?
Yeah, it really is. It really is. I'm not sure what they're trying to really accomplish with this, but what we would likely see, and China has already said they're going to retaliate. They're going to impose tariffs on goods coming from the U.S. Now, exactly what that list will be remains to be seen. Apparently not too much in the way of agriculture at this point, because they still want agricultural goods from the U.S. They still need agricultural goods from the U.S. But a whole bunch of other things. Airplanes from Boeing. Who knows what all else is going to be included on that list. But look, there's no question China has an intellectual property theft problem with U.S. tech companies. However, is this the way to resolve that problem? It's going to result in higher prices. At a time when the Federal Reserve, we also had the Federal Reserve this past week, of course. You may forget that because it seemed to pass fairly plainly. But they raised interest rates again. And it was a close vote, 7-8, whether they were going with 3 or 4 interest rate increases for the year. The Federal Reserve would like to get back to something that they would consider a bit more normal. Whether they do it or not remains to be seen, but we could be looking at a slowing economy, in part because of tariffs, while at the same time seeing higher prices. And that is something that I think scares the daylights out of Wall Street.
What about the funding bill that's in Congress now? Trump just was threatening a veto on the spending bill, and he, raising the shutdown prospect. He wants the wall, and he wants the immigrant issue solved. Unbelievable, right?
Look, the bill flawed, no question about it. 2,200 some odd pages. I doubt that there is a congressperson or a senator who has read through every page. It's a terrible way to run a government. But at the same time, they've passed it. The House and the Senate have passed it. Now it's up to the president to sign it. If he doesn't, then it just falls on him.
It's surprising that it was even passed by both houses, considering all the the controversy that's been going on between the Democrats and the Republicans. I guess the Democrats like the spending, so they went along with it.
I don't know if they so much like the spending, because a lot of that is just deficit spending, and it's not as if they get a lot of the programs that they were looking for. They didn't get DACA.
Right.
They didn't get stabilization of Obamacare. So I don't think the Democrats are particularly happy with it.
And I don't think the Republicans are particularly happy with it because we're looking at massive deficit spending on this. In fact, there was some considerable opposition from the Freedom Caucus on this issue. I mean, you're looking at $800 billion added to the budget deficit. This is not the kind of deficit spending that conservatives are looking for, and the Democrats don't much care for it either. Nobody really cares for it, but nobody wants to shut down the government over it, apparently, except for Trump, who considers that a real possibility. I tell you what, one thing we're learning about Trump now is that his deal-making process is to take hostages and then negotiate.
Okay. Maybe it's worked for him in business for decades. Maybe it'll work for him in government. We'll find out, right?
Maybe it will, or it could very well backfire. I don't know. I think if he wants to play that kind of game, it will eventually backfire.
Right. Well, we're not dealing with a normal situation here, no question about it. We knew when Trump came in it was going to be different, and sure enough it is. So the tirades and ranting and raving and all the stuff we heard, you loved it or you hated it, but this is his style, so we're going to find out if it works or not. Sinclair No from KFN 1510 Phoenix, so kind of you to join us again on the Saturday morning, and appreciate your commentary. We'll talk to you next week. Thank you.
Thank you, Mark.
Sinclair No from KFN 1510, and if you want to check out his blog, eatthebankers.com, I would encourage you to do so. Here we are on a Saturday morning. We're going to hold our breath for Monday and Tuesday next week to see what kind of news changes. Sometimes it changes dramatically one way or another, but we'll see whether Trump does go ahead with a veto, and we do have a bit of a government shutdown. We're going to see whether the Chinese come back in any strong fashion with the tariffs that are being imposed. Of course, a lot of the things were needed for many years, and we're taking a stand now, folks, that really needed to be taken. A lot of the things that Trump is doing, other presidents have talked about, but never did. And here's a man that actually is making an effort to make this happen. And whether you're for him or against him, of course, we've been for him for a long, long time. We think he's doing a great job. And as we do each week, we close our show with our old friend Ed Hart used to say on the old Financial News Network from the 1980s, we will know in the fullness of time. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you for listening to Wall Street Raw with nationally recognized market timer and previous Wall Street Week Elf, Mark Leibovit. If you missed any of today's show or to get in touch with Mark, please go to wallstreetrawradio.com. Any stocks or investment discussed on Wall Street Raw are not in any way a recommendation or solicitation to buy, sell, or hold. We first recommend you seek out a licensed financial professional for advice. Go to wallstreetrawradio.com for more information on Mark's newsletters and products.
High-performance investors and traders use superior financial tools to achieve superior returns. You have that tool with Mark Leibovit, nationally renowned top market timer, legendary television Wall Street Week Elf, and nightly business report market monitor, who shares with you his unique market tools and commentary at wallstreetraw.com. At wallstreetraw.com, Mark provides you with his latest ideas on how to help build and protect your wealth and help you avoid the next big market crash. Mark has a special free gift for listeners of his Wall Street Raw radio show. Go to wallstreetraw.com and sign up for his free monthly Cannabis Vice News Raw report. While there, go ahead and sign up for his free monthly Gold News Raw report. Both are totally free. No credit card information is required. Sign up today for your free Cannabis Vice News Raw and Gold News Raw reports at wallstreetraw.com. That's wallstreetraw.com.
Frustrated trying to get business capital? Want to take the slow process and rejection out of the equation? GCNloans.com removes the slow, irritating approval process. Instead, get quick, simple funding. Powered by David Allen Capital, 80% of our pre-qualified clients are approved in days. Pre-qualify at GCNloans.com and get your money this week. It's that easy. GCNloans.com. That's GCNloans.com.
The answer to being in control of your own healthcare is freedom from insurance. Become part of a group of self-pay patients that come together to share in each other's medical expenses. Individual share amounts begin at $107 a month and $347 for families. Choose from 3 health-sharing programs. Holistic treatments may be eligible for sharing. See guidelines. Discount programs available for dental, vision, and pharmacy. Go to libertyoncall.org. That's libertyoncall.org.